My name is Mama Mia X, and you are tuned in to 7 questions from the lady from the hard head, hard head, in my shorty voice. Okay, so the thing is, when I first met P, I didn't know him because, we were in New Orleans and P was like doing his thing in California. So I didn't know him to be excited, but I'm going to tell you what got me excited. When he came to my house and expressed to me his intentions for No Limit Records, there was something in P's eyes. I had to believe him, and everything he said he was gonna do, he did it. And so I was excited about the things he was saying, his plans for music, especially in the South. I was excited about that because I had never heard anybody talk like him as for what they was gonna do. He said, I know a lot of people hollering at you about your music. You got your hot song, but I'm gonna have the biggest label in the world. I'm gonna change the game, and he did. So yeah, one of the things I'll always be grateful to him about is he really listened and allowed me to strategically say this, that. For instance, when he came from California, Cain and Abel called me. At the time, they were Double Vision. They called me to get on a song. And so I told him, I said, you got to bring me on a West Bank by this dude Carlos. Who's member Beats by the Pound. Like, you got to bring me by this dude Carlos because I have to do a record with the twins. So he was like, okay. So we ride to Lowe's studio. And the twins, they there with their manager. I do the record, and he just like vibing, checking the twins out. I sit next to him and I say, look at them. They don't have nobody in the game like them. They twins. They identical twins. And they good. I say, and the girls are like them. They cute. So he looking like, I don't know nothing about the cute part, but he got everything else I was saying. And he said, what's their name? I said, Double Vision. He was like, I don't know about the name. I said, well, that's on y'all,
Right.
But he believed me when I told him that Cain and Abel had something, from a music perspective and a marketing perspective. And then I saw him go over there and mash a few things up with them, and they came to the label, and they was Cain and Abel. But I'm grateful because he listened a lot of times, and P is one of these people. So if you give him an inch, he gonna make a yard. He gonna make a yard with the pool, with the deck, with the patio, with the garden. He's gonna make a yard, and so in giving him ideas, he knew exactly what to do with it. He was the type of person you could pass the ball to, and he was going to handle his business. And, being a woman, and when I first came to No Limit, it was always all men, He really took the time every time I said something to listen. He always looked and listened at me and to me like it wasn't no bullshit, because it wasn't no bullshit. So as far as excitement, I was just excited about his mindset, I was really excited. I was excited that he saw past the payback for me, even though the payback did 50,000 units, but he saw that I could be a national artist. So that's where the excitement comes in, like his vision. I had never heard nobody say they was gonna have the biggest label in the world, the #1 independent label in the world. I had never heard nobody talk like that. Yeah.
East, shake it to the west. In the south, gon' have the rest.
So listen, that question came in my DM like about 5 different times. Who do you think is the best rapper on No Limit? So I'm not gonna say that it was a best rapper on No Limit, because everybody brought something to the table that made No Limit No Limit. We had artists that was more focused on lyrical content. We had artists that was more focused on swag. We had artists more focused on being hard. But all of that gumbo pot made the best gumbo, some of the best gumbo you ever had in the 90s. So I had so many favorites. Very partial to Mac and Fiend. Very, very, very partial. And absolutely, you know, I love Mystical. But you know, just in that original grime, you got to love Soulja Slim. So like I said, it's not like the best. It's everybody brought their best, and we made history because of that. I can't even leave myself out because I was with all of these different dudes, and I really, you know, pimped my pen and carried my own weight. So yeah, I just feel like, you know, everybody, like even down to P was somebody I never saw write rhymes from. Met him in 94, all the way to the last record we recorded together in 2000. He would just say, plug me in, meaning record me. And yeah, just seeing him go in the booth and make anthems. So everybody brought something to the table. As hard as C Murder was, he also had strong lyrical content behind him. So Silk's approach to the beat would sometimes leave people like, well, what? Until you listen to him. He was always saying some serious shit. I think Silk the Shocker has one of the most copied cadences in today's rap. What? Oh my goodness.
One morning, tears in my eyes. Folks kicked in my door and called me and my baby back.
So, first of all, No Limit was not another record label. No Limit was a game changer. So that one is completely like, no, we were not just a record label. We were game changers. Now, gangs. When I think about early gangs, watching documentaries on the gangs of the 60s and the 70s. Yeah, because as far as young people coming from different walks of life, different family situations, looking out for each other, being close to each other, being really proud of where we came from as far as communities. You know, you got to understand, in New Orleans, I'm not from gang culture. We had projects and we had wards. And you loved your ward, you loved your project, you loved your hood. But whenever the guys in No Limit had a problem, they would get in the gloves. You know, like how your mama would say, y'all keep fussing, y'all want fight.
Right.
And then after they fight, make up, and it's done. Also, so like I said, I was partial. I was partial to Fiend. I was partial to Mac. And I was partial to Cain and Abel. Them was my twins. So you had to hold your own on a record to prove that you were worthy to be released to the world. But because it was guys, you had to prove that you was tough too. As tough as the Wolf tickets you were selling on a record. You had to be that tough. So I do remember, you know, we had a security team. V, Pokey, Earl, Champ. They were some big old dudes that didn't take anything. And yeah, we talked a lot of stuff on them records. And I think sometimes, you know, your security is like, wow, these people say all this stuff, but then I'm gonna be the one have to, you know. So they wanted to make sure that the guys, you could do like a song me and Fiend got, Walk It Like You Talk It. So I remember this instance. They said, Mama, your babies, yeah, they good, but we gotta see how tough they are. And I'm saying, wait, they are rappers. I don't want the same thing to apply to them as other people. Like them, my churn. Mama. They gotta be tough. So I remember mad, but it's out of Mama's hands because they do have to be tough. They gotta see if you know how to fight. So I'm thinking of this. Fiend has a really gentle spirit, even though his voice is so rough, but he has a really calm demeanor. And the twins, they little. And Mac is so thin. I'm talking about dudes that was 300, 400. Big Champ might have been 4 and some change. Earl, he ain't 3'4", but he this big. He talk. Oh, and I'm like, so what they gonna do? Why they wanna? Yeah. So moving right along, they fights my churn. Tables breaking. Oh, I was so nervous. But guess what? My full churn was not busted up and bleeding. My full churn went for what they know. They held their own, and they was proved that they was tougher than what they actually talked about on the record. So as far as the gang, I know that they all proved to each other that they had each other's back. They were there for each other. And if anything went down, nobody worried about somebody running. We were definitely a family, and we all had goals and a common interest. All of us, myself and all the boys at No Limit, I watched them by their parents' houses. I remember Fiend getting his mama business. All of us bought our mom, dad, cars. All of us gave out its extended family money. Now, whether they grew or blew it, that's on them, but we did it. The common interest was family, taking care of our family and taking care of each other. We was most definitely a family, and especially like, I left New Orleans and I went to California with P. Me and Serve, KL, and P cousin Moby Dick. We lived in an apartment. Now, we was making a little money, but we didn't have a car then. And a lot of times P would come pick us up and take us, shopping, riding around when I wasn't cooking out to eat. And even like Sonya C was definitely a friend to me in California. We went get our nails done. She took me to make groceries. But one day, I don't know, neither P nor Sonya C was available. And I had cramps. I used to have cramps so bad, like bring you to tears. So picture, I have one pad, I have one tampon, and I'm in the bed crying because I'm like, damn, we live way up here. Now when I say up here, when Frankie Beverly talk about look at California, he said, you're rolling hills. We had a downstairs apartment, but we lived so high up the hill that we had a balcony. If you pitch somebody off that balcony, you was going to second line behind them because it was like probably a 15, 20 feet drop, even though we lived downstairs. Serve was in the army. I mean, not the army. No. Oh, don't get mad at me, Serve. Don't get mad at me, Dr. Ashley. Serve and my sister, Dr. Ashley, was in the Navy. And Serve was a guy who he ran around the complex. He did push-ups, sit-ups. He was real fit. He knocked on my bedroom door, and I said, come in. When he came in, he could tell that I had cried. He was like, what's going on? And I was like, I got cramps. And he was like, can I get you anything? I said, I don't have nothing. I gotta get some more pads and tampons. I need some Midol. Midol sent me a check. But anyway, I'm just saying. But I'm in pain. So Serge says, well, I guess I gotta go get what you need. So now the stove is way down the hill, like maybe an hour walk. So we talking an hour going, an hour coming back. And I say, it's way down there. And he like, I know, I'm gonna go get it. Serve went. Serve come back. Serve is like sunburnt. But I'm looking like, wow, he went. My mom had 2 girls, me and Dr. Ashley, and they have no brothers. So I'm looking at Serve like he went, and he's sunburnt. I get on the phone with my mom and my grandma because I would call them. We talking 3-way. While they're in New Orleans, I'm in Cali, and I'm telling them what happened. My mom and my grandmother would send care packages to us, to California, with hot sausage, red beans, all kind of stuff from New Orleans, blue plate, mayonnaise, bunny bread, everything. They would put a little extra hot sausage to make sure Serve got a little extra bell pepper, because I was really, really grateful to Serve for that. And then another time while we in Cali, my best friend Jill got killed. And like people know I'm friendly, but I never had a lot of friends. So people can identify my friends, even if they forget, like now I'm bald head. A couple of places I go, they may not necessarily look at me, and say that's Mia X until I talk. But if they see my partners, like if they see Tyra, they instantly know that's gotta be me an ex, you know. Jill was very, very special to me. That was my sister. And she got killed. I was furious, beyond fury. They say hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Beyond that. And I remember KL sat next to me and he put his arm around me and he said, well, Mama, we your best friends. It's not like you don't have nobody. We your best friends. And Serve said, we your family. So, No Limit, definitely the men in my life. When I battled uterine cancer, FIEND always pulled up on me. After surgery, your uterus, but for some strange reason didn't mess my eye up. FIEND came to see me, and I was blind, but I knew his voice. Always pulled up on me, always looked out for me. I always cooked for the boys. I always checked on them. I was a cock blocker. I did not want them messing with a lot of girls, and my conversations with them, I watched so many of them just evolve into men and become dedicated partners, husbands, fathers. So yeah, like family for real, for real, for real. Gang, we definitely was gang, but not to set out and do nothing messed up to nobody. We wasn't trying to steal or nothing like that. We was just very territorial about the tank because the tank was changing our lives. So yeah, gang, us, family. Yes. I got so many funny stories about Soulja Slim. But this is one thing. So Soulja Slim and I, we had our own private. We was a book club, me and him. He told me that one time he was in prison and he had been getting in a lot of trouble, and an old head gave him a Donald Goines book, and then just started giving him books. And so we would do that with each other, tell each other, well, I'm reading this book, I'm reading that book. You know, like one of our favorite books was by Sister Soulja. And I know a lot of people love The Coldest Winter Ever, but me and Soulja Slim like No Disrespect. That was such a great book. And, you know, we did a lot with the book stuff. He gave me the name Big Baby because he was like, you a giant. That's how he said giant. You a giant. But you got a voice like a baby. You big baby. He would call me Big Baby. I rode the plane with Soulja Slim the first time he ever got on an airplane. That was funny. But another time we got on the airplane, we were flying to LA. And Slim was so funny, man. Initially, he was supposed to sit at the window and I was supposed to sit at the aisle. But he was like, ain't nobody gonna jam me up. I ain't sitting by the window. I ain't getting jammed up. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the window. So this man, he was in the middle. Slim was on the end. The man, Brett, every time he shut his mouth, his Brett was still talking. The man, Brett was, man. So, Slim answering every question, but Slim doing, while he talking to him, you know, he doing the faces, but the man still not getting it, but I'm just doing like this, but the man is not getting it, the man just running it. He want to know, you know, everybody was so tall, he was like, what do y'all do? Well, he wasn't talking about me being tall, but he wanted to know the guys, you know, get on the plane, and it just looked like, you know, what do y'all do? And Slim telling them, we rap. And then Slim say, Big baby, I know you got gum in your purse. So I go in my purse and I pull out the pack of gum and I hand it to Slim. And he take a gum, but then he give the man 2 gums and give me my gum back. And he tell the man, I ain't gonna lie, your breath smell like buku poo. So the man goes, it does, but I'm saying you don't got the, how you don't smell that? But nevertheless, the man put the gum in his mouth and Slim say, no. Bro, you gotta put both of them gums in your mouth. You gotta chew both of them. So dude, he puts the gum in his mouth. It was a white man, yeah. So the man, he does. He take the 2 gums and he chew them and so it did a little something for his breath. And then him and Slim just went on to having a really good conversation. See, the thing about Slim was he was a real chameleon. And that's the stuff I like to get out about him, because a lot of people just want to talk like this whole thuggery image. But Slim could adapt anywhere you put him. He was a young man that was a barber. He wasn't just an artist, he was an artist. He could do things to clothes and just switch an outfit and just have you like, what? Wherever he was and whoever he was around, he could survive. And getting to know him, you really got an opportunity to like his personality. So whenever I talk about Slim, I try to always put that out about him, because I know everybody knows he was a gangster. Like, everybody knows that, like, duh. But he was a smart guy, and he could get along with anybody. But he was funny, liked to rib, liked to crack jokes. But on that plane, that was funny, because we laughed about that once we landed. He was like, his friend was like funky, like buku funky. I'm like, it was buku funky. It was buku. He saw, man, say, well, your breath smell like buku poo. That was crazy, And he really didn't mean any harm, but it was just like, wow, like, like, I don't even understand, he kept laughing. The baby, he a poo-poo boy. Yeah, a poo-poo boy. I'm like, but that was really funny. That was funny. So Hoodland poetry, let me just say, from the time I was like 7 to maybe 12, my mom and I, we used to write poems to each other, and we would write poems. My mom had introduced me to Nikki Giovanni when I was like 5 years old, and I loved writing poetry. So when I worked on Unladylike, things that was unladylike to me wasn't being uncouth or not having class, not having tact. It was pushing the envelope and doing the unexpected. And I'm dropping a rap album. And I want to put some of my poetry on it because I want to make my mama proud. Because, she knew the gangster stuff and she liked it. I ain't cheering for some gangsters. She knew all of that. But I wanted to let her know that I did not forget how to use my words and how to narrate something that my hardcore fans would love and understand, but my lovers of poetry would understand. So with Hoodland poetry, I have like 60 Hoodland poetries. That's everybody's name. It's Hoodland poetry. A bunch of poems. The title is Hoodland poetry. So I wanted to talk about the effects of crack cocaine. And so in Hoodland poetry, I became crack. And I spoke about being crack as the daughter of cocaine and several mixes. Like mama is cocaine. All these trains ran on me, mixed me up. I'm this thing called crack. That's really a demonic entity that has come to destroy our community. My mama was so happy. She was so proud of Hoodland poetry. So yeah, that was the thing, you know. Hoodland poetry was special to me. I didn't even care if nobody got it, but thank God they did. They got it.
That's the art.
Yeah. I could never turn my back. I can never forget why I came. This for the radio though, dude. Y'all say about clean this up. Y'all was gonna play this one down.
This was the thing. When I did Bout It, I had so much that I wanted to say and how I wanted to deliver it, but I was already at my 16, and so I put things under it. But I never got a chance to say where that concept truly came from. Shout out to Black Menace. So Black Menace had a record called Go Off, and J-Dog and Threat, every half a bar, they would say the same word. And when I first heard that, it was like synchronized swimming on a beat, because everything lined up, even though they were both saying two totally different verses, but everything lined up. So when I did Bout It, I thought about that record because I wasn't finished saying what I wanted to say. I wanted part of the verse to be where you ward at, where you hard at. I wanted the verse to say uptown soldiers, downtown warriors, east side rulers, West Bank. Well, I wanted to say all of that, but I had ran out of time. So I was like, I hope it don't sound cluttered, but I'm going to do it anyway because I need to put this under there. But that was all because of Go Off. When I worked in Peaches Records, I used to play Go Off all the time because I was so impressed with the way J-Dog and Threat did that. That was an impeccable delivery to me. I don't think that never happened in the history of records. Because people like with Bout It, they're like, I ain't never heard that before. Baby, you got to hear Go Off. You got to Google Go Off by Black Menace.
A lyrical ruckus has erupted and fuck with your manhood when I kick up and start busting niggas just be like, get out my way from this day on, I'm putting a dent in this shit. I know a lot of bitches.
That's not true. Now, so we had some tumultuous times. We had some violence. That's not true though. I never had to. No, because in my DMs, I remember somebody asking and saying something about they saw something on YouTube. Somebody was saying that. That's not true. We had some times. We had some rumble in the jungle. But I will say this. So one thing I'm gonna always give Top Boy credit for is giving me the courage to pick my gun up and bust that motherfucker at however, whenever, whoever is a threat to me, even if it had to be him. So yeah, Jimmy is gone, and one of the things that I will always remember about Jimmy is right before he passed, we had a chance to have a real conversation about our whole relationship and where it went wrong and how, if there were things that he could have done differently, he would have. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful we both came into the relationship with 2 children. And those 4 children are still siblings to this day. And I know if he's looking down at his children, he is pleased the same way I'm pleased with him and I'm pleased with mine, you know? So yeah, but no, I never ran into no damn traffic. What the hell? Now some things between me and Jimmy, it could definitely be a movie. Like, and people would be like, I don't believe it. That's crazy. Yes, indeed. I've seen it. So yeah, we definitely, a lot of stuff in our lives, but that part is not true. But where I thought that I would never shoot a gun except for at the shooting range, Jimmy, he had the power to change all that. You know? Ooh, you're gonna learn today. You ain't gonna be picking, you ain't gonna be carrying your mama 2 guns out. We gonna see. Yeah, so but no, that did not happen. Yeah, that did not happen. My name is Mama Mia X, and you are tuned in to 7 Questions from the lady from the hard head, hard head, in my shorty voice.